Alaikum. Assalam alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes, today we are going to discuss health, and the main topic is directed at what we call our children, toddlers. I mean, you call your children your mothers. You have given birth to children. You have two. You have an 8-year-old girl. You have a 2-year-old baby. You have a toddler, and so on and so on. So before I go any further, I'll say Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to every young baby out there, and a happy birthday to everyone who is born on this day. Though it's been not a very, let's say it's a beautiful day because you are born. Happy birthday to everyone all over the world that are born on this day. The reason why I put forward advice to mothers regarding their children is that mothers, you as a young lady in your early 20s who is having a baby, and it's nice to have babies, and that task was honored and honorably given to you by Allah. It's very, very beautiful to understand that women all over the world, you were honored by Allah. To be able to produce a human being, a living human being, is not an easy task. That's why I say to you were honored by the most holy, glorified Allah. And with that, with the honor that Allah honored you, Allah explained in great, great beauty and details of how beautiful the holy, most holy, beautiful religion of Islam is. Because it's from this most holy, beautiful religion of Islam that we are all created, men and women, we are created. And with that, Allah says, I did honor women. I tasked them. I took a task. I asked them. I gave him a task to be able to hold a creation in their wombs, of whom they produce a living baby, one day baby, 1 year, one day baby woman. I have said my happy birthday. We have said happy birthday to every newborn baby child, a baby girl or a baby boy. Happy birthday to you all over the world. With that, my people, creations and human beings especially, because this subject is mainly, this discussion is mainly directed at human beings. Because human beings, they tend to do not understand what they are and why they are here on this planet. But to put it in small sentences or simple or whatever, human beings are like any other creations. Apart from the fact that human beings they are dressed in a dress of a human. But the difference between you and other creations is that those are the creations which you look at out there. Those are what you call either domesticated companions, or they are what we call Mother Nature, whatever that produces as complementary companions to you as living human beings in the most holy, beautiful religion of Islam. Because Allah created everything that exists and everything that has motion in it on this planet. It was created in the most holy, beautiful religion of Islam, because that is the religion of the most holy, glorified Allah. Let's explain. I wanted to tell you that, my people, I made my birthday wish to every newborn child on this day. However, it is important that men and women, you understand who you are. That way, you avoid the spilling of blood of one another. If you do understand what you are as creations in the race of human beings, then it will allow you to understand that a Chinese man is a human being in one or the other. An American man is a human being. A black man is a human being. A white man is a human being. A brown man is a human being. And with that, Allah gave what we call a percentage of mental development, which allows to articulate reasoning accountability. With that reasoning accountability, you are able to speak words, to interact, exchanging words with one another, with your fellow human beings. With that, the accountability whereby you are articulate and reasoning with whoever you are on the table with in terms of either a conversation or whatever. That means, yes, you are as human being, you can interact with one another using the medium of words. Words which have been in whatever for many. You can use words, you can use documents, written documents, and so on and so on. With that, I would like to remind men that the fact that you are all living Muslims, it is prescribed by Allah, the Most Holy, for glorified Almighty, under a provision of holy divine interpretation that human beings should not engage in any act of abuse or psychological abuse or physical abuse of one another. That is between human and human. And Allah has also kind of made it in an interpretation in your domesticated companions, the cats, the chicken, the dog, everything that you live, you call your, because when you have a cat in your house, you say it's my cat. Yet a cat can be very independent. If it was to go and look for its risk, it can do so. A horse can always be a horse which you ride on and go to the supermarket or about 2 kilometers from where you are to buy something. A goat can easily graze, and so many whatever. They are independent creations, but they are a part of a community of Muslims who lives on planet Earth. With that, there are trees in your compound. Trees are interpreted as skinny trees, which says, in which a tree says, Allahu Akbar, Ashahad ala ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. It does that, glorifying Allah with the most holy, divine oath, which the tree does. After time and time again, it repeats that oath time and time again. That's why Allah says, I created whatever I created so that they can worship me, glorify me that way. That's why Allah sent the Quran through Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a guidance to all living human beings, that men should not deviate. Men should not get lost into the world conjecture. I mean, there are conjectural ways whereby they end up killing or spilling blood of one another. I will give you an example in what we call, we are in the 21st century. In the 21st century, you have children. We started by saying, a happy birthday to every little baby born child around the world. A baby girl out there, happy birthday to you. A baby boy, happy birthday to you. In Islam, I say to you, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You're welcome. And always remember, as a baby, when you start, if every chance ever come and your mother lets you hear this voice, remember that this is a voice of a living being who was sent on this planet to tell your mother that you are born as a Muslim. Even when you came out of your mother's womb, the first word you testified to her was Allahu Akbar, because that is the only word Allah accompanies every living human being who is born like you were born today. If you are to be able to speak, you would say, to speak to your mother in a like interact like what I'm doing now. You'd be able to tell her, Mother, it's Allah who told me to say Allahu Akbar, because I have never used my tongue. I've never used my tongue to speak any word. The only way I could set it, Allahu Akbar, to you, it was to say, Allah told me that use any whatever will come out of my mouth will be glorifying Allah. So the baby says, Allah, 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 in a form of crying. Men call it crying. The baby is crying. In modern times today, in the 21st century, people say when a new baby born child cry, whatever, they say the baby is crying. No. The baby only knows one word, and that word is the most holy, beautiful name in the universe, and that name is Allah, which is testified by every leaf of a grass, every leaf of a tree, every canopy of a tree. It testifies Allahu Akbar endlessly, either by practically displaying a character A as a leaf. If you look inside the leaf, you will see that it says Allah, there's a signature like A, letter A, which says Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu la ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, Alpha and Omega, Allahu Akbar, Ashhadu la ilaha illallah, continuously. The same thing human beings do when they are born on their first star, on their arrival on planet Earth. So with that, I just wanted to remind men and women that, my people, if we are to look at the 11 centuries we've been talking about, we've seen that many atrocities occurred. Today, I came again and looked at some children's brains, and I discovered that most of them, they spend most of the time on what you call Xbox games, computer games, gadget games. These are very, very deadly weapons to little children. Because if you are to ask that child who is on the Xbox or playing a computer game, if you ask her, who designed that game? And what was the intention? These are some of the psychological weapons which indoctrinate children with racism and militantism and all sorts of dirty theologies, because this is a part of the artificial intelligence warfare. Artificial intelligence warfare. So with that, children who do play Xbox, you wouldn't tell him go and plant 10 trees so that we can put Mother Nature and we can help ourselves so that we get off the what you call climate change and global warming. You wouldn't tell a child, Joseph, run outside and plant 10 trees, and time and time again, you have to, if we don't get rain, you can kind of carry water from whatever and pour rain so that it can, those trees, and you have to do that every month. None of your parents can do that. And you don't do that. And you don't know how to, you don't know what to do. You are a people. Somehow, in one way or the other, a chunk of your brains was chopped off and it was dumped in a septic tank and locked there. So the children, they do as they wish. They are on what you call a cyber. I wouldn't call it cyber game. It's cyber warfare. At the age of 5, a child can play Xbox for 5 hours non-stop. And if you told him you can't plant a tree, he would say, Mama, I'm busy. And those things, they kind of mutilate a brain of a child. And the brain tweaks and kind of want to break free
And some of these kids, by the age of 8, because it used to be very rare for children to acquire brain tumors or leukemia when they are at the age of 8. But nowadays it's coming a very common what? A very common occurrence in children. Do you know why? Because the games they play in Xbox, for instance, there's a game called Insurrection, a very deadly game designed by one madman within, I don't know whether it's a U.S. Navy or whatever, because they've got a branch which designs this kind of games. It's I don't know, an old guy, the old guard, whatever, the old guard kind of, they call it the old guard gang warfare, encrypted as a game. But yet it's a psychological weapon which destroys a 5-year-old little boy's brain. That the boy is left with nothing but either he carries on as a racist, a gangster, a murderer. So with that, I just want to advise mothers, look out for your children. I think you wouldn't like to see your child being either, when they tell you that your child has leukemia or has a brain tumor at the age of 8, and say, my boy, they never goes anywhere. He's always playing Xbox. But because your mind, as I said, a chunk of it was chopped off your brain and locked up in a septic tank, and it's very difficult for you to free yourselves unless an alien like me guides you. So with that, please, human beings, you are all living Muslims. In a Muslim community, a chicken provides an egg, a horse provides the ride. Those are all contribution to harmony and peace. If you turn around and say your contribution is cyber warfare, first of all, the victim will be either your child or yourself, shouting time and time again, my son, can't do this. No, mama won't do that. So you are fighting with your own child. With that, my people, my children, my people, my creatures, you are all living Muslims on this planet, whereby you are not supposed to engage in any war, cyber, or any war, racism, any war. You think of anything that you call war, because that alone can cause you to, your blood cells inside you or whatever, to mutate into cancer cells, because the body, you are telling your body that you are against life, you are against life. Life is a religion, and that most holy, beautiful religion is Islam. That's why all grass says, Allahu Akbar, Ashhadu la ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. And all trees say, Allahu Akbar, Ashhadu la ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. And they bear fruits which you consume every day, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, at any given time, as something, a complementary beauty to taste the beauty of Islam. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.